Okay, so if target group members can tell, then that has implications on how you respond during these interactions, right? It means that we need to be aware and we need to, like, if you're not part of the target group, um, if you're part of the in group that has higher relative power, you need to be aware of these implicit biases so you can adjust them and address them and, put intention behind the actions. Um, I will give one caveat that is so important, and this is really directed towards the target group members who come into these interactions and experience these every single day. Because, yes, although the discomfort is palpable, it doesn't actually necessarily mean that the person has a high degree of implicit bias. And that might be confusing, and it might be confusing to you guys if you're not in the target group member and you take the IAT and it turns out you didn't have a lot of this, because that amygdala is still triggered whenever someone is just worried about appearing to be biased or appearing to have prejudice or appearing to be racist. So these interactions can still feel the exact same way, and the target group member reads the facial expressions, the micro expression of the person who's just really nervous about acting or appearing to be racist, and because they hold that as a really important value. And so, whether it's for survival or whatever, just know that it's not these uncomfortable interactions. Yes, they're often because of people are conditioned with this fear and implicit bias, but not always. Sometimes it's just that they're really wanting to look good and worried about looking good. And so, I think that gives us a choice of what we want to focus on in terms of humanity, right? Because it's probably always better to be able to tie our liberation together and say that the other group's success or my group's success depends on theirs too. So we're all in this together. But that's how it works.